Your narcissistic partner will slowly begin to isolate you from your family and friends. If they can keep you from your family and friends, they can continue to brainwash you into thinking that this relationship is everything that you need. They generally won't come out and say, I don't want you talking to that person. I don't want you seeing that person. They don't really do it that way. Unless they have a specific problem with somebody, they won't come out and say, to your face, I don't want you hanging out with this person. They do it in very subtle, very sneaky ways to avoid confrontation. I can't really go into too much detail on what happens because the narcissist will study you and they will sort of customize how they isolate you. Every relationship is different, but based on my relationship and the ones I've been following, it tends to start very early on in the idealization phase, and it continues throughout each phase of the relationship getting worse and worse. And even after the narcissist has long discarded you, they still find ways to isolate you. I'll give you examples of how Robert used to do this to me, and I had absolutely no idea what was going on. If I had plans to see my friends, he would tell me that he didn't feel good, and he would ask me to spend time with him instead. And I didn't feel like he was isolating me. I just felt like he really wanted to see me. So I would end up canceling plans with my friends all the time. And if I was out with my friends, he would make up some reason that he needed me to come over right away. So I ended up leaving early. And I didn't feel like this was a problem. I felt loved, I felt wanted, and I didn't feel like I was being controlled. So I actually began to like it, and I began to welcome him asking me to stop whatever I was doing to go see him. When he took me to dinner on my birthday, I felt great. And later on, after we'd broken up, a friend of his told me that he'd only taken me out to my birthday because he thought my friends were stupid, and he didn't want me seeing them on my birthday. And he would always invite me to his family dinners. And again, I found out after the fact that he did it because he didn't want me spending time with my family because he didn't like them. And during these family dinners, he was especially sweet and especially nice to me. And looking back on it now, I realize it's probably because he wanted an opportunity to show off to his family what a great boyfriend he is. So that during those periods when we were broken up, he can say to his family, see, look, I'm such a great boyfriend. She's just out of her mind. The last dinner we had together was this past Thanksgiving, and I mentioned briefly on my video about being childish that this was the night we played Monopoly together, and he was very angry that I won, and his reaction to me winning was completely bizarre. And so I made it a priority to speak to his aunt discreetly, because I really needed to tell her what I was thinking about, suspecting he was a narcissist. And she agreed with me. She agreed 100%, and she said, yeah, I just really don't think his mother raised him right. We didn't really get too much into detail, but that was the gist of it, and I felt a lot better. I felt a lot better that she agreed. And I knew it was probably going to be my last chance to speak to her, because I kind of had a feeling that things were really just going to end at that point. And I was right. We broke up a week after that. And like I said, down the road, I will make a video on our breakup. It was completely bonkers, it was nuts, and it was like something out of a movie. Like, not a good movie, like a horror movie. I mentioned how a narcissist can still isolate you during the devalue stage and during the breakup. And my ex would constantly tell me, fine, go back to your stupid friends, they don't like you anyway. They're just your friends because they feel bad for you. This was entirely not the case, but he was so in my head that I really thought my friends hated me. And even after we broke up, I didn't hang out with them. I felt very alone for a while, and then I finally just realized how stupid that was. And they'll say things like, you'll never find someone like me. Who else is going to date you? Who else is going to put up with you? And this keeps you insecure. It keeps you questioning yourself. And if the narcissist is successful, it will keep you from dating new people. The tactic is to leave you single and sad, and now you're open to getting sucked back into the relationship at a later date. So back to what I was saying about not seeing your friends. If you don't have friends around you, you become more and more dependent on your narcissistic partner for everything, and they count on this. They can further control and brainwash you when you don't have the support of your friends. And this stems from the paranoia that all narcissists feel. They're afraid that your friends will influence you. They're afraid that your friends are going to say terrible things about them. So if they can ruin your friendships by never giving you a chance to actually see your friends won't have that opportunity to say terrible things, and you'll depend more and more on your narcissistic partner for everything. Now keep in mind, each time you break up with a narcissist and get back together with them, the isolation tactics just get worse. Really, everything gets worse. But all of the negative things that a narcissist does are methods of punishment, much in the same way that a bad child tries to punish their parents for putting them in time out or grounding them. These children just act out even more. The narcissist is doing the same thing, they're just better at hiding it. So remember, isolation is a form of manipulation and punishment. And the next red flag is called gaslighting, which gaslighting is just a way the narcissist gets you to question your own reality. And it's really a sub-form of isolation, which is just another manipulation tactic. So stay tuned for that video. I'll do my best to have it up for you this weekend. Thanks.